Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am filming on a brand new camera, so bear with me. Also, if I look like I just had an allergic reaction to OxyClean, it's because I just had an allergic reaction to OxyClean, so I'm thriving. Today I'm going to try to vlog, try being the key word, Becca's 48-hour Bookoplathon? Yeah. This was created by Becca and the Books. Monthly she does Becca's Bookopoly, and this was inspired by her monthly TBR game. She created this amazing readathon where she's going to take her 2 Bookopoly boards and give out prompts throughout the next 48 hours. So the goal is to read 4 books. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do that. And she was only giving us the first prompt for the readathon. It is 7:28. I'm in Eastern time zone. So it has started about 28 minutes ago, so I'm a little late. But the first role that I will be participating in is the chance card role. So for this, I could have uploaded a poll to Twitter. I could have just put in all of my TBR books to a random number generator. I could have just picked half and half of books I am excited about and not excited about. Instead, I have started to try to read I don't want to call it a secret TBR, but it's a different video. I'm working on a different video. And for that, there were 14 books I could choose from. So I just put 1 to 14 into a random number generator. I got 5, which correspond to The Buddha in the Attic by Julie Otsuka. I'm excited. I have no idea what this is about at all. It's really short, which is probably the best news for me. It's 129 pages. Love that for a 48-hour readathon. So I lucked out. Like I said, have no idea what this is about, and I'm kind of really into going into books blind, so hopefully I'll have more coherent thoughts on this later on in this video. So from what I can tell, this book follows 8 different women as they travel from Japan to San Francisco to become picture brides nearly a century ago, and it follows their journey. That's enough for me to know going into this, but I'm super excited because it's super short, very small, and hopefully I can knock this out pretty quickly. Not totally sure because I don't know what this is. So while I was trying to give myself some license in picking from those 14 books, this has taken away all of my choice, and this is what I will be reading. But I'm excited. I'm hoping that the other books this weekend can also correspond with that video, because otherwise I'm reading books on top of more books, but we'll see what happens. Fingers crossed I can keep up this vlog. We'll see. I keep looking at myself in the viewfinder. I'm not used to all of this. But yeah. I don't know where to go from here. I don't vlog. So last night I had an allergic reaction, and today I woke up feeling like absolute shit. So this readathon is just, I am thriving this weekend. But I did stay up till 2 o'clock in the morning to finish The Buddha in the Attic. This was interesting. I gave it 3 stars. I'm still not sure if I'm going to keep that rating. I might bop it to a 4-star. I did enjoy it. It's interesting. It's written in a collective we point of view, which I don't think I've ever read a book that does that. So that was very interesting. It follows a group of Japanese women who are sent pictures of these men that are living in America, basically sent off to go marry these men in America, and they're told that they are bankers and like successful basically, and they're not. They're like farmers and, you know, maids and stuff like that. So They're sent off to America to live these lives with these men they've never met before. Some of them are as young as 12 years old, and they're called picture wives because they got a picture. They exchanged pictures and decided to get married. And then it just kind of not follows their experiences. It jumps around a lot. It basically just talks about like when they're on the boat, when they meet their husbands, living with their husbands, having babies, having children, and then what happens when World War II starts and they are sent to internment camps. So this is the second book this year I've read that has dealt with Japanese American internment camps and the impact that has. This was not quite as impactful as Tokei's They Called Us Enemy. That really goes day by day into like what it was like in the internment camps and what it was like to be kicked out of your home. You know, he lived as a child in the internment camp, so it's a lot more impactful. This doesn't really go into detail at all. It kind of just explains how they disappeared and how their communities felt, which was interesting. It's very short, so it's pretty easy to get through. It's definitely, there's nothing fun about this. There's a lot of stuff in here that's mentioned very quickly about abuse and about like 10-year-olds in brothels and things like that. So it's an easy read as far as format goes, but it's a little tougher, and especially if you don't like the collective we, it can be kind of not jarring, but hard to get used to, and it can get kind of annoying. So yes, I'm gonna stick with a 3-star rating, just because I enjoyed it, but it wasn't anything that, I don't want to say it wasn't groundbreaking, but there were parts of it that I didn't really like, especially the collective we. I understand the point of it, but it just got kind of like, oh, okay. Alrighty, but 3 stars. So that was for the chance card, the random number generator picked that out of 14 books. Becca's second roll came for me at 7 o'clock this morning. I was asleep. It's now, what time is it? I don't have my watch on. Noon. And her spins 5 hours ago were for a culturally diverse read or a viewer recommendation. I only have like 60 some of you, and I don't have too much interaction quite yet. I'm trying to build on that, so I can't do that. But what I can do is ask some friends. So I sent a picture to my friends, to 2 of my friends, Stephen and Sydney, and was just asked them which one I should read, and they both picked The Turn of the Screw by Henry James. So one of my favorite books last year was The Turn of the Key by Ruth Ware, and that was a spin-off of The Turn of the Screw, which is basically about an inexperienced governess who goes to look after these children, and like strange things start to happen in the house. So it looks pretty creepy. It's not long, but it's also a classic. And sometimes classics can take me a little bit longer. I'm hoping this one won't take long because I have 7 hours before the next roll, and I would really like not to get behind. But I have a feeling this might set me back a little bit, but that's okay if I don't read 4 books. I'm not that worried about it, but this is my next read. So it's 11 o'clock. I just finished The Turn of the Screw by Henry James, and I gave this 2 stars. I wanted to like this, and there were moments that I really liked. A lot of it, or the creepy parts were really fun. The ghost parts of it were really fun. But there was like a level of wordiness in this that just annoyed me because it felt like the narrator was talking just to talk and not giving much. She was like obsessed with the kids for like no real reason. The uncle had like no interest in what was going on with his niece and nephew at all, and specifically said not to be bothered with it. I just had high hopes for this, probably because I loved the turn of the key so much, and I was really hoping to like what it was based off of, but I did not. I just was like really annoyed the whole time. The decisions made to like not talk to the kids about what they were seeing or experiencing or not experiencing. Like I was more on the side that I thought the ghosts were really happening, but not sure how I feel about that now. But I feel like a lot of it could have just been handled if you just sat down with the kids and been like, hey, have you been seeing your old nanny? Like, I just, and the ending just didn't do much for me, and it's just, yeah, 2 stars. I was leaning toward 3 stars for most of it, but after thinking about it, I was like, no, never mind. 2 stars for my second book in the Bookoplathon. Why can I not say that? I'm talking kind of quietly because it's 11 o'clock. So Becca's third roll came 4 hours ago for me, so I'm 4 hours behind, which is fine. And that roll was either to read a gifted book or a mystery thriller. I feel like I'm like constantly one behind with the rolls. Like I read a book that would be better suited for the next roll, and on and on and on. I'm going to do the gifted prompt because she had like a list of things that would count, and one of them was a borrowed book. And since I work at the library, I picked a library book. This is Are You Listening by Tilly Walden. I have absolutely no idea what this is. I just know it's a YA graphic novel and is a profound and magical road trip through a surreal landscape with 2 characters and 1 special cat. I'm down. I like cats, I like road trips, I haven't read a graphic novel in a hot minute, so I'm excited for this. I'm hoping, I mean, it's kind of chunky, but it's also a graphic novel, so I'm hoping I can kind of rip through this and maybe read 4 books this weekend. That would be pretty cool. We'll see though. I'm reading a lot more than I thought I would. I'll say that, but we'll start this and see how I feel. So I finished it. It was 3 stars. I liked it. I liked parts of it more than others. It's weird, like really weird. It's about these 2 girls who are both leaving town, and one is walking and one is driving, and they meet up and decide to go together, and they find a cat, and they're being chased, and it's really weird. And there are some pretty sad parts, and there's some pretty creepy parts, but as a whole, I don't want to say I didn't get it, but at the same time I was kind of just like, this is not for me. I struggle with graphic novels, usually. I just find it really hard to get into them, but I have loved quite a few. My favorite being My Favorite Thing is Monsters. That was like right up my alley and perfect. This, it was 3 stars. It didn't do anything wrong, but it was fine. It was fine. I enjoyed it fine. It wasn't like incredible. It wasn't amazing. It's not like a new favorite. I'm not gonna like talk about how much I love it. It was fine. Trigger warnings for death of a parent and sexual assault, but other than that, it was good. It was a solid graphic novel. The art style was pretty cool. I don't know. I always just feel like graphic novels can go really fast. And I don't know, this was atmospheric and it was interesting and it was weird. But I'm not totally sure what the point of it was. I enjoyed it, but I'm just kind of like, alright, that was the thing. It's kind of annoying because I'm not reading anything this weekend that I like really love. I liked The Buddha in the Attic. I liked Are You Listening? And I didn't really love The Turn of the Screw, but I have yet to find anything that I love. So hopefully I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to wake up. Becca will have her fourth and final roll, and I will read something amazing. That's the goal. Read something at least like a 4-star. That would be good. I like to feel like I accomplished something positive this weekend. I have felt like shit all day. It is midnight. I'm going to go to bed. So I didn't vlog anything today, and it is 10 o'clock and Becca's Bookoplathon has been over for 3 hours and I really just need to wash my hair and go to bed, but I wanted to like wrap this up and talk about the fourth and final book that I read for this readathon, which was Antisocial by Gillian Blake. This was 2 stars. This follows Anna. She's in high school. It's like her senior year, like her last semester, and she has social anxiety, which is the coolest part of this book. I have social anxiety. I have struggled with it a lot for a lot of my life, but especially the last like 4 or 5 years. So that was very cool to see represented in a YA novel. Really liked that. Thought that was great. There were like little tidbits in there that I could relate to. Fun times. But I had a lot of issues with this. Basically, the story follows Anna, like I said, senior year. She has social anxiety and her hotshot basketball boyfriend dumped her over Christmas break, and she's returning to school now, and while she was with her hotshot basketball boyfriend, she like ditched all her other friends, so they're like not really talking to her, and it's like this nightmare, and she's so anxious and blah blah blah. So she's like really anxious, and like that's a big part of the story. Like her anxiety is at the beginning, which I really liked, related to, thought was pretty realistic to the most part. She's got a pretty extreme case, like mine's a bit more mild, I would say. I guess in ways, like she gets anxious even about like internet and like texting and social stuff, and I guess I overthink that more, but it doesn't quite make me so anxious like it does her. But I guess there's also parts of this story where I'm like, I feel like you would be socially anxious, but that's just me, but like you have said like how much you struggle with this, but like you don't seem, and that's just me, my thoughts, and like it's my own personal experience, so I can't judge anybody else's. So maybe there are people out here who like talk about how debilitating their social anxiety is and then have experiences where they don't mention it at all. But that's just me, because it kind of just goes, not to say it goes away, it's just not mentioned for a lot of the book. Like about a quarter of the way in, through all of that, it's mentioned a lot, and then it's just kind of like shoved aside and then like brought up randomly, but like not. Anyway, this book is mostly about how somebody has leaked all of her classmates' secrets to this website. It's very One of Us is Lying-esque, where it's like a website and there's all of this like stuff and secrets and dirt on all these people. It's a little bit more intense though, because like in One of Us is Lying, it's like one big secret, whereas this is literally all of their info on their phone. So like every text, every DM, all of their personal stuff is there. So not only can you like learn their big secrets, but you can also see like what they said about you. So it's like a big invasion of privacy. And I'm basically just going to get into spoilers because I don't recommend this and I don't really think anybody's going to read this. But if you're going to read it, don't listen to this part. But basically the reason she's with her boyfriend, the one thing they have in common is that they both have anxiety. But Palmer, her boyfriend, doesn't have like the support system that she has. So she's like his only support system and blah, blah, blah. And his life kind of falls to shit when it's revealed that he has been using steroids after his like big basketball injury. And basically at the end of the book, he kills himself. And it was just like, oh, okay. And then she has this best friend named Jethro, who is like which also horrible name. I hate that name. Sorry if your name is Jethro, but like all the names. Anyway, she has like, she's like best friends with him, but she like casually fucks him at the beginning of the novel, but he's like in love with her. But then it also comes out that he's the one who initially leaked the story about Palmer using steroids so that she would not like Palmer, you know, just in case. Like, it was just, didn't like that. And then he like disappears. Like, that's it. There was just some things that I was like, okay. And like her friends are annoying and like they get pissed at each other over really stupid stuff. And she's like, we've been friends for 10 years. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, they're all really crappy to each other, obviously, but like some way more crappy than others. And I'm like, wait, why are you mad at her? It just, it wasn't great. Also, it's like horribly dated. I cannot stand it when a YA book is like, hey, this is YA. And the way that they do that is by referencing things like Yik Yak and Vine, which are both dead, and like Justin Bieber, and like I don't even know what else is in this book that I was just kind of like, okay, we get it. This book is for teens, and it was written and published in 2017. So, you know, 3 years, a lot can happen on the internet. Yik Yak's not a thing anymore. Kind of, thank God. But yeah, so that's the story, and it has a very like Mean Girls-esque ending where she does like this art exhibit. And it's all like, yes, we say mean things to each other, but the most used word in the leaks was love. It was used 14,000 times. Blah. And like, it's very like Katie sucking the poison out of her life or whatever. I gave this 2 stars. I wanted to give it 3 stars. I couldn't in the end because I don't know what the fuck this was supposed to be. I don't know. It just wasn't for me. Maybe it'll be for you. Wasn't for me. Anyway, so now we're going to go over the books I read. So that was a 2-star. The first book I read was The Buddha in the Attic by Julie Otsuka. 3 stars. Pretty good. Liked it. Collective we was a little weird and kind of got, not annoying, but like listy, and you kind of, a lot of it lost shock value. Like, that sounds weird, but like it became not monotonous, but kind of, because it was hard to pay attention and like not connect with what she was saying, but nothing really stood out because it was all in the collective we, and it would like be written in lists, so it was a little weird on that front, but it was good. Yeah. I didn't read anything amazing this weekend, which is sort of annoying. I read The Turn of the Screw by Henry James. 2 stars. This just pissed me off because it was wordy and it had like some very good spooky moments, but then like couldn't deliver on it. And like, look at that cover. I wanted some scary shit to happen in this. And The Turn of the Key gave me those. It gave me like satisfactory scary shit. This Didn't do that. It was a classic. I kind of hate it when I don't like classics because I'm just like, is it just because like I don't get it, or is it just because this has too many words for what it was trying to do? Like, it was just kind of pretentious sometimes, and like the narrator talked forever just to tell us that like the children and I were still getting along fine because we weren't talking about the weird shit happening. Like, 2 stars. This is the one I struggled the most rating. This is Are You Listening by Tilly Walden and Walden? Yes. I gave it 3 stars. There was a part of me that wanted to give it 4 stars because there are elements in this that were really, really cool. I liked the road trip. I liked the finding yourself elements. I liked the... I don't even know how to describe it. I liked the like tone of the whole thing because it was really like weird and like what the fuck is going on, and there was a magical cat, which I am so in for all the time. But I gave this 3 stars ultimately because it just, there were moments where I was like, what is this trying to do? And I kind of ended it like that, where it was kind of like, what was the point of the magical cat and like the people chasing them? Yeah, but it was interesting. It took me like an hour to read because I really like enjoyed it. I was in it. It was pretty fast paced. I enjoyed the ride, but ultimately it wasn't anything like, oh my god, I love this. Like, I almost changed my rating to a 4 star, but then was like, don't do that. So 3 stars. So I had nothing but a couple of 2s and a couple of 3s this weekend, so that's disappointing. If you want to know why I read such a random ass selection of books this weekend, check out, I don't know if it'll be my next video or not, but like, give me a little time. There's an explanation. Hey, if you want to guess why I'm reading those books, comment down below. But yeah, hopefully I have more luck with the other 10 books that I have to read for this video that I'm doing. But yes, thank you all so much for watching. Let me know if you participated in Becca's Bookoplathon and how many books you read. I did have to go over by 3 hours, but I did read four books, which is probably the most successful I've ever been in a readathon, to be honest. I rarely meet my goals, and my goal was to read 4 books, and I did that. Cheated a little bit, but it's okay. But yes, thank you all so much for watching. Comment, like, subscribe, all the normal stuff, and I'll see you guys again super soon. Bye.